G'day guys, welcome to episode 76 of Ask Jack D. Today I take a profound and somewhat challenging question from Twitter from Alex, who says, Jack, your image has changed. What are you laughing at, Rosie? She's still laughing at the reason why I was teasing her, which we probably can't broadcast on Ask Jack D. And he asks, anyway, Alex says, Jack, your image has changed quite rapidly over the last 24 months. What are the reasons for this? And I talk about how the only reason we ever do anything is as a representation of who we are, or as a representation of who we are. And therefore the only reason to ever change anything is because it is no longer a representation of who you are. So I talk about the journey that I've been on over the last few years in a personal sense and in a professional sense, and reflect on some of the shifts that you guys might have noticed as my audience. And we definitely do not talk about the week that Rose Maloney just had.
Wings to fly full of flourishes like that. 'Cause I'm lining up the stars. Yeah, you know we lining up the stars.
G'day guys, welcome to episode 76 of Ask Jack D. We are in the building today with a full crew. We've got Rosie Maloney back in the building after a week off with her girlfriends from America. How you feeling, Rosie?
I'm feeling happy to be back.
Happy to be back. And she's just run here from university where she was doing a presentation. How did your presentation go?
It went well. I literally did an hour.
Jack, maybe throw the shot onto Rose. She's ready.
So I prepared my presentation in an hour last night.
Good.
I basically just showed a really controversial YouTube video.
Nice.
Discussion and didn't really have to say much.
Nice. Good.
Not uni.
Hopefully your lecturers don't watch this. Well done, Rosie. We're good to have you back. Scotty, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Doing really great.
I hear you found love, mate.
I've found love. Very pretty blonde girl.
You
I'm going to show this video. I'm talking to you, Caitlin.
There we go, Caitlin. You've been shouted out on Ask Jack D. You've
Jack.
been called out. There you go. And we've got the famous Mr. Jack McAvoy behind the camera. As per usual, we have a full crew here for episode 76. Let's get underway. Today we're taking a question from Twitter from Alex, who asks, your image has changed quite rapidly in the last 24 months. Yes, it has. What are the reasons for that? Asked Jack D. Good question, Alex. Really good question. Your image has changed in the last 24 months. What are the reasons for that? Okay. Okay. I believe that the only reason we ever do anything is as a representation of who we are, or a statement to the world, or a statement to the universe saying, this is who I am. Right? And therefore the only reason to ever change what you are doing or change anything about yourself is that it is no longer a representation of who you are, right? And we change every day, and particularly if you're on a high growth trajectory and you're somebody that's really committed to personal evolution and spiritual evolution and becoming more of yourself, your definition of yourself and how you describe success will change from last year to this year, right? The words you used to describe yourself this time last year, for a lot of you watching, this video, is probably different to the words you used to describe yourself this year. How you would have described success for you a year ago is probably different to how you describe success today, right? Because the only reason we do anything is as a representation of who we are. Therefore, the only reason to change anything is it is no longer a representation of who we are. For me, over the last couple of years, maybe 3 years-ish, I have gone through a massive shift and a massive change in who I am, right? And so when you say a change in image or a change in style or a change in what I'm talking about, it is representative of a change of who I am. I've become, whereas maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I was probably highly commercial, and it was about success, and it was about winning, and it was about, playing that game. And then you kind of get to a point, I got to a point where it becomes about more than that, and you start to elevate the conversation a little bit, and you start to deepen your understanding of why you do what you do and where you're going and what you want to influence and all that sort of stuff. Where, I'm at a place today where happiness for me is about contribution. Everything we do here is about fulfilling our vision of pushing civilization forward by enabling more people to live on purpose. So it's probably a more evolved outlook on life and the planet, and why I work so hard and why I give so much and why I push myself so much and why I stretch myself to such a high degree and all of that sort of stuff, I'm being driven by very different forces. And both forces, this, and by the way, this shift is very common in a lot of entrepreneurs, from sort of startup days where you're scrapping and it's about hustle and it's about will and it's about, you have to be going, right? And then you kind of reach a point where you start to have achieved some of the stuff that you wanted to achieve and accumulate some of the stuff you wanted to accumulate and done a lot of the stuff you wanted to do and all that sort of stuff. And then you start to search for meaning, right? And you start to search for more. And that's when I think the conversation becomes more interesting, when it transcends business and it becomes about purpose. And so I suppose that's the journey I've been on the last couple of years. And that would have been the difference that you guys would see, watching me speak or watching videos or whatever it might be. One thing I'm always saying to my team here is, if you want to come on this journey with us at The Entourage, you will be unrecognizable 6 months from now from who you are today. Who you are will not change. However, how you sort of manifest it, how you show up and how you do relationships and how you do work and how you manage yourself and how you lead other people will evolve and it will grow. Who you are at your core won't change. It's not about changing who you are. It's just about becoming more of who you are. And when you're becoming so much more of who you are each and every day, every 6 to 12 months, you'll be unrecognizable from the person that you used to be. So, Alex, that was a really freaking good question. Thank you for answering it. I hope that gives you an insight, a very personal insight into my journey over the last few years. Thank you for asking the question. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next episode.
I've been there, I've just actualized a wish that I dreamed as a kid. Cause I'm lining